Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why do we suffer? Why do we strive for meaning in a world that seems indifferent to our existence? What if everything you've been told about happiness, success, and purpose is just an illusion, a story we tell ourselves to escape the unbearable truth of life's emptiness? Welcome to today's journey into the unsettling yet profoundly enlightening mind of Emil Cioran, a philosopher who dared to confront the harshest realities of human existence. Chiron didn't offer comforting answers or uplifting platitudes. Instead, he held up a mirror to the absurdity of life, urging us to face the unvarnished truth. His words are sharp, his ideas radical, but his perspective has the power to change the way you see the world and yourself. Imagine this: you're stuck in the monotony of a 9-to-5 job, chasing promotions, accolades, and milestones. Yet every achievement leaves you feeling more hollow than before. Or maybe you're scrolling through social media, bombarded with images of perfection that only deepen your sense of inadequacy. What if the problem isn't you, but the illusion society feeds us about what it means to live a fulfilling life? In this video, we'll explore Chiron's provocative views on suffering, time, death, religion, and the paradoxical role of humor in enduring the absurdity of existence. Along the way, we'll connect his philosophy to the challenges of modern life: burnout, isolation, anxiety, and discover how his unsettling ideas might just hold the key to living more authentically. But before we dive in, let's take a moment. If you're already intrigued, hit that like button. It helps us reach more curious minds like yours. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more thought-provoking content like this. And if you feel inspired, consider supporting us through YouTube's Super Thanks or donating directly. Your engagement helps keep this channel alive, allowing us to explore these fascinating topics with you. Are you ready to question everything you thought you knew about life? Let's begin. Emil Cioran, a philosopher with an unflinching gaze into the depths of human existence, offers a perspective that is both disturbing and thought-provoking. His ideas revolve around the themes of suffering, time, death, and the illusions we construct to make life bearable. At first glance, Chiron's philosophy might seem overwhelmingly pessimistic, but it holds a deeper truth about the human condition. Through his aphoristic style, he confronts us with the harsh realities of life while compelling us to question the beliefs and conventions that guide our existence. Chiron viewed suffering as the inescapable essence of life, unlike the optimistic narratives often promoted in modern culture, which encourage us to seek happiness and avoid discomfort. Chiron argued that suffering is not only unavoidable but intrinsic to human existence. This perspective is poignantly captured in his statement: "We always suffer more than necessary. We even die more than necessary." By this, he emphasized the role of human consciousness in magnifying our pain, the capacity for self-reflection, which is often regarded as one of humanity's greatest gifts, becomes, in Chiron's view, a double-edged sword. It allows us to anticipate, interpret, and even exaggerate our suffering. Consider the common experience of anxiety about the future. A person might ruminate endlessly about potential failures or losses, even if these scenarios never come to pass. For Chiron, this tendency reflects the cruel irony of human consciousness. It both enriches and torments us. In today's world, where societal norms pressure us to present a facade of perpetual happiness, Chiron's philosophy feels especially relevant. Social media, for example, often amplifies feelings of inadequacy and discontent as people compare their lives to the curated highlights of others. Yet, Chiron would argue that this discontent is not a product of social media itself, but an inevitable consequence of the human condition. Suffering, in his view, is a baseline reality that no amount of technology, wealth, or distraction can erase. This stark perspective challenges us to confront our pain without illusions or false comforts. Time, another central theme in Chiron's philosophy, compounds the anguish of existence. He described life as one long insomnia, a relentless state of wakefulness that unearths the futility of human endeavors. The passage of time is not merely a neutral backdrop to our lives. It is a source of existential anxiety. As we move through life, We accumulate experiences that remind us of our limitations and the inevitability of death. This awareness can be both sobering and paralyzing. For instance, the midlife crisis, a common phenomenon in modern culture, epitomizes the dread of time slipping away. People suddenly feel the weight of unfulfilled ambitions and the narrowing window to achieve their dreams. Chiron's insights resonate deeply with such experiences, as he believed that the inexorable march of time forces us to confront the fragility and transience of life. Yet, Chiron did not see this confrontation as entirely negative. By acknowledging the harsh truths about time and its effects, we might achieve a kind of clarity. This clarity does not come from finding a purpose or achieving transcendence, but from accepting the absurdity of our situation. Imagine someone walking through an art gallery and encountering a painting that initially seems chaotic and meaningless. Upon closer inspection, the viewer begins to see patterns, colors, and textures that evoke a sense of wonder. Similarly, Chiron's philosophy encourages us to find beauty and depth in the chaos of existence, even if it ultimately lacks inherent meaning. Death, for Chiron, was not a tragedy but a natural and inevitable release from life's burdens. He referred to dying as an insignificance, stripping it of the fear and drama with which it is often associated. This perspective contrasts sharply with societal attitudes that often portray death as the ultimate failure or loss. In Chiron's view, death is a return to the nothingness from which we came, a cessation of suffering and struggle. This notion can be liberating when considered in the context of modern life, where people often go to great lengths to deny or delay the reality of death. From anti-aging products to medical advancements aimed at prolonging life, our culture clings to the illusion of permanence. Chiron's philosophy, however, invites us to accept mortality with calm resignation, recognizing it as a defining and equalizing aspect of the human experience. The idea of death as an equalizer is particularly striking in its implications for how we view ourselves and others. Regardless of social, economic, or cultural distinctions, death comes for all, leveling the playing field in a way that nothing else can. This realization might foster a sense of humility and interconnectedness, as it reminds us of our shared vulnerability. At the same time, Chiron's reflections on death challenge us to re-evaluate our priorities. If everything we achieve ultimately fades into oblivion, what, if anything, is worth striving for? For Chiron, the answer lies not in finding definitive meaning, but in embracing life's fleeting moments with awareness and authenticity. Religion, another topic that Chiron frequently explored, serves as both a refuge and a source of illusion. While he recognized the comfort that faith can provide, he was deeply skeptical of its ability to offer genuine answers to existential questions. Religion is the opium of the people, he noted, echoing Marx but adding his own pessimistic twist. To Chiron, religion represents humanity's desperate attempt to impose order and meaning on an indifferent universe. This critique resonates in contemporary discussions about the role of religion in modern society. While some find solace in spiritual practices, others grapple with the tension between faith and the realities of science, reason, and existential doubt. Chiron's ambivalence toward religion is perhaps best illustrated by his acknowledgement of its paradoxes. He recognized the depth of spiritual experience, but questioned its capacity to resolve life's fundamental dilemmas. For instance, the notion of divine justice may comfort those who suffer, but it also raises difficult questions about the nature of suffering itself. If an all-powerful and benevolent deity exists, why does pain persist? These questions, central to theodicy, highlight the limitations of religious explanations in the face of existential anguish. Chiron's approach to religion is not a wholesale rejection but a call to critically examine its claims and implications. Despite his bleak outlook, Chiron infused his work with irony and humor, offering a counterbalance to the weight of his ideas. The only way to endure existence is to laugh at it, he quipped, using humor as a means of resistance. This perspective finds parallels in the ways people cope with adversity in everyday life. Consider the phenomenon of dark humor, where individuals joke about their struggles as a way to reclaim agency and defuse tension. Chiron's use of irony serves a similar purpose, allowing him to navigate the absurdity of life with a sense of detachment. His humor also reveals the contradictions inherent in human existence. For example, he observed, "Taking life seriously is a comedy in itself," highlighting the futility of our efforts to impose meaning on a chaotic world. This insight resonates with modern audiences who navigate a complex web of societal expectations, personal ambitions, and existential uncertainties. Through humor, Chiron invites us to approach life's absurdities with a lighter heart, even as we grapple with its darker truths. In examining Chiron's philosophy, we are reminded of the importance of facing life's challenges with honesty and courage. His ideas may not offer easy solutions or comforting answers, but they push us to confront the depths of our existence with clarity and resilience. By engaging with his work, we can explore new ways of thinking about suffering, time, death, and the illusions we hold dear, ultimately enriching our understanding of what it means to be human. Suffering, according to Emil Cioran, is not merely an aspect of existence, but its very foundation. It is the inescapable truth that accompanies every moment of life. From the moment of birth, humans are thrust into a world where pain is an omnipresent force, shaping experiences and relationships. Chiron believed that suffering is so intrinsic to human existence that to deny it is to live in delusion. He once remarked, "We always suffer more than necessary," pointing to how our consciousness magnifies the burden of pain. Unlike animals, which experience pain in its raw, physical form, humans have the ability to reflect, anticipate, and ruminate. This cognitive capacity, often celebrated as a hallmark of humanity, becomes a source of heightened anguish. For instance, consider the phenomenon of regret, a uniquely human experience. While an animal may instinctively move on from a mistake, humans replay past failures, imagining alternate outcomes that amplify their suffering. In modern life, suffering is often masked by distractions. Technology, entertainment, and consumerism provide temporary relief, creating the illusion that pain can be avoided. Yet, these distractions are fleeting and superficial, leaving individuals to grapple with a deeper, existential discomfort. Social media, for instance, encourages comparisons that exacerbate feelings of inadequacy. Seeing others' curated successes and joys can make one's own struggles seem insurmountable. Chiron's philosophy suggests that rather than seeking to escape suffering, individuals must confront it directly. Only by acknowledging pain as a fundamental aspect of life can one begin to understand the human condition. Time, in Chiron's view, intensifies the despair inherent in existence. It is not a neutral dimension through which life unfolds, but a relentless force that exposes life's futility. He described life as one long insomnia, a restless state of being where the passage of time only deepens the awareness of mortality and impermanence. Unlike suffering, which is felt in the moment, time stretches suffering across a lifetime, creating an enduring backdrop of anxiety. This perspective is evident in the common experience of midlife crises. Individuals who have spent decades pursuing goals often find themselves questioning whether those achievements hold any real value. The awareness that time is finite, that opportunities, relationships, and ambitions are slipping away can evoke a profound sense of despair. Time's role as an intensifier of suffering is particularly evident in the way humans measure their lives. Birthdays, anniversaries, and milestones serve as markers that highlight the passage of time, often bringing with them a sense of regret or unfulfilled potential. Consider the cultural phenomenon of bucket lists, which represent an attempt to wrestle with the fleeting nature of existence. While the idea of accomplishing meaningful experiences before death is inspiring, it also underscores the inexorable march of time. Chiron's reflection on time challenges individuals to embrace its harsh realities rather than seeking comfort in illusions of control or permanence. Death, for Chiron, is not the ultimate tragedy but a liberation from the endless suffering of life. He viewed death as a return to the nothingness from which we emerged, a natural and inevitable conclusion to the human experience. In a culture that often fears and avoids discussions of mortality, Chiron's perspective is both jarring and liberating. He wrote, "Dying is an insignificance, stripping death of its mystique and dramatization." This stark view encourages individuals to see death not as an enemy, but as a part of life's cycle that brings relief from the burdens of existence. The idea of death as an equalizer holds profound implications for how we live. In a world divided by wealth, power, and status, death is the one certainty that unites all humans, regardless of social standing. Every individual faces the same inevitable fate. This realization can foster humility and compassion, reminding people of their shared vulnerability. It also invites a reevaluation of life's priorities. If all achievements, possessions, and ambitions are ultimately rendered meaningless by death, what, then, is worth pursuing? For Chiron, the answer lies not in striving for permanence, but in experiencing life with an acute awareness of its transience. Religion, a recurring theme in Chiron's work, embodies both solace and illusion. While he acknowledged the comfort that faith can provide, he was deeply skeptical of its ability to offer genuine answers to life's existential dilemmas. Religion, in his view, is humanity's attempt to impose order and meaning on an indifferent universe. He famously remarked, "Religion is the opium of the people," borrowing Marx's phrase, but imbuing it with his own pessimistic interpretation. Faith, Chiron argued, is a double-edged sword. It offers hope and structure, but also perpetuates illusions that prevent individuals from confronting life's harsh realities. Consider the role of religion in providing solace during times of crisis. For many, the belief in a higher power or an afterlife offers a sense of purpose and reassurance. Yet, Chiron questioned whether this comfort comes at the cost of authenticity. He once wrote, "Believing in God is a comfort that I dare not allow myself," reflecting his internal struggle with faith. This ambivalence is particularly relevant in a world where science and reason increasingly challenge traditional religious narratives. While some find spiritual fulfillment through faith, others wrestle with doubts that mirror Chiron's skepticism. Chiron's critique of religion extends to its role in perpetuating societal structures and norms. He saw organized religion as a mechanism for controlling and domesticating the sacred, stripping it of its raw, transcendent power. This perspective resonates in contemporary debates about the intersection of religion and politics, where faith is often used to justify social hierarchies and cultural practices. Yet, Chiron did not dismiss the value of spiritual experience altogether. He acknowledged the depth and complexity of faith, even as he doubted its ability to resolve the fundamental questions of existence. Despite the weight of his ideas, Chiron infused his work with irony and humor, offering a counterbalance to the bleakness of his philosophy. He once quipped, "The only way to endure existence is to laugh at it," highlighting the role of humor as a tool for coping with life's absurdities. This approach is evident in his aphorisms, which often blend biting wit with profound insight. For example, he wrote, "Taking life seriously is a comedy in itself," pointing to the paradox of human efforts to find meaning in a meaningless world. Humor, for Chiron, is more than a means of evasion. It is an act of resistance against despair. By laughing at life's contradictions and uncertainties, individuals can assert their agency in the face of suffering. This perspective is reflected in the prevalence of dark humor in contemporary culture. From stand-up comedy to internet memes, people often use humor to navigate personal and collective struggles. Chiron's use of irony serves a similar purpose, encouraging readers to approach life's challenges with a sense of detachment and resilience. Ultimately, Chiron's exploration of suffering, time, death, religion, and humor offers a profound meditation on the human condition. His philosophy does not provide easy answers or comforting illusions. Instead, it challenges individuals to confront the stark realities of existence with honesty and courage. By engaging with Chiron's ideas, one can gain a deeper understanding of life's complexities and perhaps find a measure of solace in the shared struggle of being human. Emil Cioran's philosophy is deeply aligned with, yet distinct from, the existentialist ideas of thinkers like Albert Camus and Friedrich Nietzsche. While all three grappled with the absurdity of life and the search for meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe, their approaches reveal significant differences. Camus famously coined the term the absurd and saw it as a confrontation between humanity's desire for meaning and the silent, irrational world. In the myth of Sisyphus, Camus proposed defiance as a response to the absurd, suggesting that one must imagine Sisyphus condemned to eternally push a boulder uphill as happy because he creates meaning through rebellion. Chiron, in contrast, did not advocate rebellion. Instead, he embraced resignation, seeing the acknowledgement of life's meaninglessness not as an opportunity for defiance, but as a path to clarity and detachment. For Chiron, the realization that life is a cosmic error should not provoke action but a quiet acceptance of life's inherent absurdity. Nietzsche's perspective, though also focused on the absence of inherent meaning, was radically different from Chiron's. Nietzsche famously declared the death of God and proposed the concept of the Übermensch, Overman, a figure who creates personal values and meaning in the void left by the absence of divine authority. Nietzsche's philosophy, infused with vitality and creativity, offered a way to overcome despair through self-affirmation and artistic expression. Chiron, however, found Nietzsche's optimism misguided, viewing it as another illusion designed to mask the emptiness of existence. Unlike Nietzsche, who sought to transcend nihilism through strength and creativity, Chiron lingered in the depths of despair, refusing to seek refuge in such constructs. The application of Chiron's ideas to modern challenges like anxiety, isolation, and social pressures reveals their continued relevance. In the context of anxiety, Chiron's thoughts on suffering provide a lens to understand why modern individuals feel so burdened. Anxiety, often linked to an overwhelming sense of the future and the unknown, echoes Chiron's belief that human consciousness intensifies suffering. For example, the pressure to meet societal expectations, such as excelling in one's career, maintaining a picture-perfect personal life, or achieving financial stability can create an endless cycle of worry. Chiron might argue that these pressures stem from illusions we create to give life meaning. If one were to let go of these constructs, embracing the idea that existence is inherently meaningless, much of this anxiety could dissipate. While this perspective may seem extreme, it resonates with the growing minimalist and slow-living movements, where individuals intentionally strip away societal expectations to focus on simpler, more authentic ways of being. Isolation, another pervasive issue in modern life, also finds resonance in Chiron's philosophy. In an era where technology ostensibly connects people, many feel lonelier than ever. Social media fosters superficial interactions that often fail to satisfy deeper emotional needs. Chiron's notion of existential solitude, that each person is fundamentally alone in confronting the absurdity of life, aligns with this experience. He would likely see the quest for constant connection as another illusion, an attempt to distract oneself from the reality of human isolation. However, rather than lamenting this loneliness, Chiron might suggest embracing it as an essential truth. This idea is reflected in the growing popularity of mindfulness and meditation practices, which encourage individuals to sit with their thoughts and accept the solitude of their existence without judgment or fear. Social pressures, particularly those related to achievement and status, are another area where Chiron's philosophy applies. The modern obsession with productivity and success often leads to burnout and dissatisfaction. People are conditioned to believe that their worth is tied to their accomplishments, leading them to chase ever higher goals. Chiron's rejection of the pursuit of meaning challenges this mindset, suggesting that the relentless striving for success is futile. His philosophy finds echoes in contemporary critiques of hustle culture and the embrace of alternative lifestyles that prioritize personal fulfillment over societal validation. For example, the anti-work movement and the rise of individuals opting for simple living over career advancement can be seen as modern responses to the pressures Chiron critiqued. Contemporary cultural examples further illustrate Chiron's relevance. Films like Fight Club reflect his philosophy by exploring the emptiness of consumerism and societal expectations. The protagonist's descent into chaos and rejection of conventional norms mirrors Chiron's call to abandon illusions and confront life's absurdity. Similarly, books like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning offer a contrasting yet complementary perspective. While Frankl advocates finding meaning even in the face of suffering, his acknowledgement of life's inherent challenges aligns with Chiron's insistence on confronting pain head-on. Television shows like BoJack Horseman delve into themes of existential despair and the futility of striving for happiness through external validation. The titular character, a washed-up actor grappling with regret and self-loathing, embodies many of Chiron's ideas. BoJack's journey, marked by moments of self-awareness and humor, reflects Chiron's belief that irony and laughter can serve as tools for coping with despair. The show's raw portrayal of mental health struggles and its refusal to offer tidy resolutions align with Chiron's rejection of comforting illusions. In music, the works of artists like Radiohead resonate with Chiron's philosophy. Albums such as OK Computer and Kid A explore themes of alienation, technological disconnection, and existential dread. Lyrics like, "I'm not here, this isn't happening" from the song How to Disappear completely encapsulate the sense of detachment and resignation that Chiron championed. These cultural artifacts demonstrate how his ideas continue to influence and find expression in art and media. Chiron's philosophy also offers insights into societal behaviors and trends. The rise of nihilistic humor, particularly among younger generations, reflects an engagement with the themes he explored. Memes that juxtapose dark existential truths with absurdly mundane captions embody his blend of despair and irony. This form of humor serves as a coping mechanism, allowing people to confront the absurdity of modern life with a sense of detachment and levity. The growing interest in existential thought, as evidenced by the popularity of philosophy podcasts, online courses, and self-help books, further underscores the relevance of Chiron's ideas. While not everyone may agree with his conclusions, his willingness to question deeply held beliefs and challenge conventional wisdom resonates in a world grappling with uncertainty. Whether through the lens of existential anxiety, societal disillusionment, or cultural critique, Chiron's philosophy continues to provoke thought and inspire dialogue about the nature of existence. His work reminds us that in a world filled with contradictions and uncertainties, confronting life's harshest truths can lead to profound self-awareness and, paradoxically, a deeper appreciation for the fleeting moments of beauty and connection that define the human experience. Imagine a young professional, David, who has climbed the corporate ladder with relentless determination. He spends his days in a high-rise office, managing spreadsheets, attending endless meetings, and responding to a deluge of emails. His weekends, ostensibly his time off, are consumed by networking events, professional development workshops, and keeping up with industry trends. By all societal standards, David is a success story, a well-paying job, a prestigious title, and a lifestyle that others envy. Yet, every evening as he stares at the ceiling before falling asleep, he feels an overwhelming sense of emptiness. His achievements, once a source of pride, now feel hollow, like ticking boxes on an arbitrary checklist. Chiron might describe David's predicament as the inevitable consequence of human existence, the realization that life's pursuits, no matter how grand, ultimately fail to fill the void of meaninglessness. David's situation echoes the monotony that Chiron identifies as intrinsic to modern life. The endless cycle of work, consumption, and superficial fulfillment mirrors what Chiron might call an attempt to distract oneself from existential despair. This monotony is not unique to David. It's a shared experience for millions. Consider the phenomenon of quiet quitting, where employees disengage from the hustle culture to prioritize mental well-being. While the term has gained traction as a critique of modern work culture, it also reflects a deeper, Chiron-like recognition that life spent chasing societal expectations often leads to dissatisfaction. A historical example that aligns with Chiron's perspective is the life of Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh's relentless pursuit of artistic expression was coupled with profound mental anguish and a deep sense of isolation. Despite creating some of the most celebrated works in art history, He lived in poverty, struggled with relationships, and was largely unrecognized during his lifetime. Van Gogh's letters reveal a man torn between the beauty he saw in the world and the despair he felt in his soul. Chiron might have viewed Van Gogh's torment as emblematic of the human condition, an artist who captured the sublime in his work, yet could not escape his internal suffering. Van Gogh's story is a poignant illustration of how the pursuit of greatness or meaning often amplifies rather than alleviates existential despair. In a more everyday context, consider Sarah, a mother of two who spends her days juggling work, childcare, and household responsibilities. She scrolls through social media during rare moments of downtime, inundated with images of other mothers seemingly leading perfect lives, beautiful family vacations, expertly crafted meals, and immaculate homes. Sarah begins to feel inadequate, as if she is failing despite her relentless efforts. This experience of comparing oneself to carefully curated online personas mirrors Chiron's critique of societal illusions. Social media, while providing connection and entertainment, often fosters a culture of superficiality, masking the shared struggles and imperfections of human life. Chiron would argue that Sarah's feelings of inadequacy stem from the societal pressure to create meaning and value in ways that are ultimately hollow. A fictional scenario that reflects Chiron's ideas might involve a character like Alex, a recent retiree who has spent decades in a high-powered job. During his career, Alex was lauded for his accomplishments, earning awards, recognition, and financial security. But now, as he sits in his quiet home, he finds himself asking, what was it all for? His days feel unstructured and purposeless, and the accolades he once cherished seem irrelevant. Chiron's philosophy would resonate deeply with Alex's sense of disillusionment. The years of striving and achieving were, in Chiron's view, an attempt to impose meaning on an inherently meaningless existence. Now that the distractions of work are gone, Alex is left to confront the void. Another relatable example is the modern pursuit of happiness through consumerism. Take the story of Emma, who believes that her next big purchase, a new car, designer handbag, or luxurious vacation will finally bring her lasting joy. Each time she acquires something new, there is a fleeting moment of satisfaction, but it quickly fades, leaving her yearning for the next thing. This cycle of desire and dissatisfaction reflects what Chiron described as humanity's futile attempt to escape the despair of existence. He might argue that Emma's consumer habits are symptomatic of a deeper existential void, one that cannot be filled with material possessions. Historically, the story of Emperor Nero offers a dramatic illustration of Chiron's ideas. Nero, known for his excesses and tyrannical rule, sought meaning through indulgence, power, and artistic endeavors. Despite his immense wealth and influence, Nero's life was marked by paranoia, insecurity, and a desperate need for validation. His eventual downfall and death highlight the emptiness of his pursuits. Chiron would likely see Nero's tragic arc as a testament to the futility of seeking fulfillment through external means, whether power, luxury, or artistic legacy. A contemporary parallel might be found in the burnout experienced by high-achieving students. Consider Liam, a college student who has excelled academically, participated in numerous extracurricular activities, and built an impressive resume in preparation for a prestigious career. Despite his accomplishments, Liam feels perpetually stressed and unsatisfied, haunted by the fear of failure and the pressure to do more. Chiron's reflections on the human tendency to magnify suffering through self-awareness apply to Liam's situation. His achievements, while impressive, have become a source of anxiety rather than fulfillment, highlighting the paradox of striving for success in a world that offers no ultimate purpose. In storytelling, films like American Beauty encapsulate the themes Chiron explored. The protagonist, Lester Burnham, begins to question the suburban ideals of success, family, and happiness that have shaped his life. His eventual rejection of these societal constructs mirrors Chiron's call to confront life's absurdity without relying on comforting illusions. Similarly, the character of Rick in The Walking Dead reflects Chiron's philosophy in his struggle to maintain meaning in a post-apocalyptic world. Stripped of societal norms and comforts, Rick grapples with existential questions about survival, purpose, and morality in an environment that starkly reveals life's fragility. These anecdotes and stories, whether fictional or real, illustrate how Chiron's ideas manifest in everyday experiences and historical narratives. They understand the universality of his philosophy, showing how the struggles of modern life, historical figures, and fictional characters all reflect the same fundamental truths about the human condition. Emil Cioran's philosophy challenges us to reconsider the fundamental truths we hold about life, suffering, and meaning. At its core, his work invites us to confront the uncomfortable realities of existence with brutal honesty. By doing so, Chiron offers a path not to happiness or salvation, but to deeper self-awareness and authenticity. While his ideas may seem bleak at first glance, they contain valuable lessons for navigating the complexities of modern life. One of Chiron's most profound contributions is his assertion that acknowledging the futility of existence can lead to greater clarity. In a world that constantly pushes individuals to seek purpose and strive for achievement, his philosophy encourages stepping back and questioning why we pursue these goals in the first place. Take, for instance, the widespread cultural emphasis on productivity. Many people measure their worth by how much they accomplish in a day, constantly chasing milestones that they believe will bring fulfillment. Chiron's insights suggest that this relentless striving often leads to disillusionment. Recognizing the absurdity of tying self-worth to external validation allows individuals to reevaluate their priorities and focus on what truly matters to them, free from societal pressures. The paradox of despair leading to authentic living is central to Chiron's philosophy. By fully embracing life's inherent suffering and absurdity, individuals can shed the illusions that prevent them from living authentically. Consider someone going through a midlife crisis, questioning the choices that have shaped their life. This period of despair, while deeply unsettling, can also be transformative. It forces them to confront their deepest fears and desires, stripping away the superficial layers of identity they have constructed. In this process, they may discover a more genuine sense of self, unburdened by societal expectations or pretense. Chiron's philosophy suggests that despair is not an endpoint but a gateway to a richer understanding of oneself and the world. For a more relatable example, imagine a recent college graduate who, after years of education, feels aimless and overwhelmed by the pressure to succeed. They might question whether their chosen career path aligns with their values, or whether the pursuit of financial stability is worth sacrificing personal fulfillment. While these questions can be daunting, they also present an opportunity for growth. By leaning into this existential uncertainty rather than avoiding it, the graduate can gain insight into their true aspirations and redefine success on their own terms. Chiron's work emphasizes that such moments of doubt are not failures but essential steps toward authentic living. Chiron also provides a framework for confronting suffering, a universal aspect of human existence. He believed that suffering is not something to be avoided or minimized, but embraced as an intrinsic part of life. In today's world, where mental health challenges are increasingly prevalent, his philosophy offers a counterintuitive yet empowering perspective. For example, someone dealing with anxiety might find solace in accepting their discomfort rather than trying to suppress it. By acknowledging that anxiety is a natural response to the uncertainties of life, they can begin to work through their feelings with greater compassion for themselves. This approach aligns with therapeutic practices like mindfulness, which emphasize being present with one's emotions without judgment. In the context of modern relationships, Chiron's philosophy encourages honesty and vulnerability. Many people enter relationships with the expectation that their partner will fulfill them or provide a sense of purpose. However, these expectations often lead to disappointment and conflict. Chiron's perspective suggests that no relationship can fully alleviate the existential loneliness inherent in being human. By accepting this, individuals can approach their relationships with a greater sense of realism and appreciation for the connection they do have, rather than idealizing what they think it should be. This shift in mindset can foster healthier and more meaningful relationships, rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Actionable insights inspired by Chiron's work can help individuals navigate their own existential questions. One such insight is the importance of embracing impermanence. In a culture obsessed with legacy and permanence, Chiron's acknowledgement of life's transience encourages letting go of the need to leave a lasting mark. For instance, rather than stressing about building a career that will be remembered for decades, one might focus on finding fulfillment in the present moment. This shift can alleviate the pressure to achieve monumental success and create space for experiences that bring genuine joy and connection. Another practical takeaway from Chiron's philosophy is the value of humor and irony in facing life's challenges. While his views on suffering and despair are intense, he also recognized the power of laughter as a form of resistance. Consider how people often use humor to cope with difficult situations, such as sharing jokes about the struggles of daily life. This ability to find lightness in the face of hardship aligns with Chiron's belief that irony allows us to confront the absurdity of existence without being overwhelmed by it. Cultivating a sense of humor about one's own flaws and failures can provide a sense of perspective and resilience. Chiron also encourages a shift in how we view time, rather than seeing it as an enemy or a finite resource to be maximized. He suggests accepting its passage as an inevitable part of life. This perspective can be particularly freeing in a world that prioritizes constant productivity. For instance, someone feeling guilty about taking a day off might instead view it as an opportunity to simply exist without the pressure to perform. This reframing aligns with the growing movement toward work-life balance and the recognition that rest is not a luxury but a necessity. Finally, Chiron's philosophy invites individuals to embrace solitude as a source of strength rather than a condition to be avoided. In an era dominated by social media and constant connectivity, many people fear being alone with their thoughts. However, Chiron viewed solitude as an opportunity for introspection and self-discovery. Taking time to disconnect and reflect can help individuals gain clarity about their values and goals. This practice might involve activities like journaling, spending time in nature, or meditating. By embracing moments of solitude, people can cultivate a deeper relationship with themselves and develop the resilience needed to navigate life's uncertainties. While Chiron's philosophy is not for everyone, its emphasis on confronting life's harshest truths offers a powerful framework for self-awareness and growth. By accepting the inevitability of suffering, embracing impermanence, and finding humor in the absurd, individuals can move toward a more authentic and fulfilling existence. In a world filled with distractions and illusions, Chiron's insights challenge us to strip away the superficial and engage with the raw, unfiltered reality of being human. This process may be uncomfortable, but it holds the potential for profound transformation and a deeper appreciation for the fleeting moments that make life worth living. So, what have we uncovered on this journey through Emil Cioran's radical ideas? Perhaps the most unsettling truth of all: life may be meaningless, but in accepting that, we might find a strange liberation. Chiron challenges us to confront suffering not as an enemy to be defeated, but as a constant companion, an inevitable part of being alive. He urges us to let go of illusions about success, permanence, or salvation, and instead, to live with a deeper awareness of life's fleeting beauty and absurdity. But this isn't a call to despair. Paradoxically, Chiron's insights remind us that within the absurd lies an opportunity for clarity and authenticity. By embracing impermanence, by laughing at the contradictions of existence, and by seeing through the societal expectations that weigh us down, we might discover a freedom we never thought possible. Now, take a moment to reflect. How has this exploration of Chiron's ideas resonated with your own experiences? Do you feel challenged, inspired, unsettled, or maybe all three? Let us know in the comments below. Your thoughts and stories are what make this space a community, and we'd love to hear from you. If this video sparked new ideas or made you see the world differently, please hit that like button and share it with others who might need a fresh perspective. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is just the beginning of our exploration into philosophy, life, and the big questions that define us. And if you want to support the work we do, consider sending a super thanks or a donation. Every bit helps us bring you more content that challenges and inspires. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, remember, the answers might not be out there, but the questions are what make life worth exploring. See you in the next video.